mind getting older. I'm 41 and that's fine with me. It's great. And especially mentally. I know what I like, I know what I don't like. I know what I need to do to have good days. I know how to deal with bad days. And yeah, just mentally having my shit together, or at least knowing when shit falls apart how I can get it back together again. It's great. And that part of being 41 is, I wouldn't trade that for very much at all. But physically, getting older is frustrating, I guess is the right feeling for it. So I do work out, exercise, stay active as much as I can. And as you can see, my job, not very active. However, there are certain exercises I can do while I'm driving, and I do them. On the weekends, I try to spend as much time in the gym as possible. Now, I'm also trying to start a business and play music and have some semblance of a social life. So, plus, with all the hours I work, that kind of leaves all my chores for the weekend, along with other things, but I digress. Basically, I don't have a lot of time to exercise, but I do exercise as much as I can. And even while I'm driving, I will try not to drive for more than an hour without getting out and doing some jumping jacks or something, getting the blood pumping again. So I feel, I know that I am putting in a lot more effort to staying in shape than I have at most points in my life. I've been very consistent with this for the past, probably 5 years. Very consistent with going to the gym as much as I can and staying active in between those visits to the gym. And the frustrating part is that I know that I'm working out as much as I can, and yet, although I am in good shape, I am in good shape, but I think that I should be in better shape for all the work I'm putting in. I'm being on keto diet, which is also not fun, but keto diet, trying to put off eating in the morning as long as I can, working out and exercising as much as I can. I'm not ripped, if that makes sense. I don't have a six-pack. I'm not jacked. I'm in shape, in good shape, but once again, there's that for my age asterisk next to it. And I hearken back to my 20s when I could drink every night of the week, and as soon as I started going back to the gym, I could get that, well, maybe not six-pack, but just be jacked. And it would come back, it was just easier. And being now in my 40s, the effort that I'm putting in, I'm not getting the same results. And I understand that that's just life. And this will continue. And at some point, more effort is actually going to be less strength and less muscle. At some point, atrophy is going to overcome that tipping point, and no matter how much I exercise, it's not going to matter anymore. And I know that. And part of me dreads that, and part of me accepts that. But it is frustrating to see that day and feel that day approaching. But I'm not going to stop. I'm never going to stop. I'll rest when I'm dead, as they say. And other things too. So the low blood pressure thing is a weird one. I'm not quite sure how to handle this yet. I think the first thing I'm gonna try is monitoring it better. So they said VA is sending me a blood pressure monitor so I can keep track of it more often. And from all the looking up I've done online and asking ChatGPT about it, it doesn't really seem like there's much I could do about it. But I'm gonna try a couple things. First thing I'm gonna try is putting electrolytes in my water that I take to work with me. So we'll see how that goes. When I encounter problems, I find solutions, I implement solutions, and as with my life, I treat myself as a science experiment. I try different things and I see what happens. So problem, low blood pressure, which leads to confusion throughout the day, me getting lost on routes that I should not get lost on, and forgetting things I should remember, and moving in even slower motion than I already do. None of which are great for my career. So it is important that I solve this problem. And because, especially as a truck driver, this can lead to sleepiness, falling asleep, and passing out, things like that. So that would be no bueno behind the wheel, because that could lead to death. So yeah, a problem that I need to tackle. And yes, gonna start putting electrolytes in my drink mix, in my water at work, and see what happens. So, decreasing strength, increasing weird problems popping up. It's just a part of getting old that I have to accept, and I do accept, because whether I like it or not, it is. Dang it, there was something else I was going to tack on at the end here, and I forgot. Ugh. Life. Getting old, I forget things. It is what it is. Bye.